welcome to the Lelantia Show. Today I'm coming on to talk about spirit guides. What are spirit guides? So you may already know a little bit about spirit guides, but maybe there's some information here that you didn't know or you really didn't think about, because even if you knew about spirit guides, I bet there's a few questions that you still have. So hopefully you will find this video helpful for you. So if you don't know who I am already, my name is Lelantia. I'm a psychic realm channeler and healer, and I specialize in working with the magical realms. So I work with dragons, unicorns, mermaids, fairies, all of the different magical beings, but I also work with spirit guides, angels, ascended masters, all kinds of different beings. So I will cover that just a little bit as I move forward in today's video, but I just wanted to give you a little bit of an idea of what spirit guides really are, or who spirit guides really are. So spirit guides are beings that exist in the spirit world. They're not here in the physical world. We don't see them with our physical eyes usually. Usually we communicate with them in other ways, in our other senses. So it may be that you communicate with them in ways, maybe you hear them, and generally when we hear, it's not with our physical ears. If you see, it's not usually with your physical eyes. It's more your psychic senses, right? And even if you don't have your psychic senses opened yet, which is a whole other video, because there's all kinds of things around that, and I will add that to my list of videos to make. But even if you don't have them open, you can connect with your spirit guides. Now, your spirit guides, you have made an agreement with them before you were incarnated in this lifetime. So you made an agreement that they would guide you and help you through certain periods of your life. Generally, spirit guides don't stick around for your entire life, but you usually have at least one that is with you the entire time. You also have your guardian angels that are with you, and there are other beings that may step in at different times. And spirit guides don't always have to be, normal human looking beings. Spirit guides can be magical beings like fairies or dragons. And I don't generally refer to them as spirit guides, but they are guides. They are guides that help you. So they really are spirit guides, and they can communicate with you in the same sorts of ways and bring you messages, which I'll talk about in just a minute. They're also celestial beings. And what I mean by celestial beings is aliens. So there are some that will come in and help in different areas, different things that you're working through. There are also collective energies. So collective guides are generally a collection of beings that work together to help you with something. So I have a collective called Luna that is 3 Lumerians. Now that's a smaller collective. There's only 3 of them. They speak kind of as one voice. I have a collective called David, which is an energy of monks. They are really in the energy of that monks are in, this energy of holding space and being in a place of love and non-judgment. And they are 47 beings. And they come through, and when there's usually, in collective energies, there's usually one that speaks, and you can kind of tell that through the voice of this person that there are multiple beings speaking through this one person. It's hard to explain. You kind of have to experience it, but when you experience it, you can kind of see the difference in the energy, that there's a lot more energy behind the voice. And of course, we work with angels, like I had mentioned, and we can connect with archangels as well, who come in to help us. And archangels will always come in when we call for them, because they don't have free will. They have to come, it's their job. But our guides, generally they come forward because they want to work with us. Now, we can't just be like, oh, today I want to work with this being or this ascended master, and they don't always necessarily just show up. They may, because you have that urge to work with them for a reason, but maybe it's not the right time. So when I wanted to work with Merlin, it took a little while before Merlin came in, because I had to do my own inner work. And generally we had to do some inner work to really move into that vibration to meet the guides that we want to connect with. So, excuse me. Spirit guides connect with us or communicate with us Oftentimes, if you don't have your abilities yet open, or if you feel like you're not naturally psychic, probably because of fears and limiting beliefs and different things you need to work through. But if you feel like you don't know, you can't communicate with them yet, they will communicate with you in other ways. So they can communicate with you through other people. They can communicate with you through signs, like numbers. Angels are always communicating with us through numbers. You've probably heard the term angel messages or angel numbers when you see repeating numbers and there's like a message behind it. They can communicate with us through signs. They can communicate with us in dreams. You may wake up and have had a dream, and maybe there's a name repeating on your tongue, or there's a phrase running through your mind over and over and over again. That's because they were communicating with you, and they made it so that you would, or they helped you to remember that. So you can set your intention when you sleep to receive information and to wake up to remember that information. So for me, they'll often kind of wake me up in different ways. So when they wake me up, it's often right after they have given me a message. So I wake up and I still remember it, and I know to take note of it. So take note of your dreams immediately upon waking. You can also learn to channel with your guides. Channeling just really takes practice and like repeatedly showing up to do it, and also doing your healing work, because we really need to move into a vibrational frequency to be able to connect with them. And that leads me to the next point that I wanted to make, that not all guides are really good. So you want to connect with the guides that are really for your highest good. You don't want to connect with guides that they may be at the vibrational level you're at because of healing that you're doing or not doing. Maybe you're ignoring some healing that you need to do, so your vibration is lower. You may not really want to connect with those guides at that level, because they aren't necessarily going to be for your highest good. They may have their own intentions and things that they're trying to do, their own goals. And sometimes that's meant to be learning things for you to learn from. So I wouldn't say that when that happens that it's necessarily a mistake. It's something to learn from, but it is really important to raise your vibrational frequency to meet the ones and connect with the ones that are really for your highest and best good. So anytime you're connecting with guides, or you are inviting guides into your life, you want to make sure that you're setting the intention that you are really connecting with the guides that are for your highest and best good, who are the deepest of love and are the highest of integrity. So I set an integrity level. For me, I say 8 and above, but when you're first starting out, you may say 6 and above. When you kind of set at a scale of 10, then there are some that kind of rise above that level of 10, which would be, like archangels and stuff. And there's some celestial beings and stuff as well that kind of rise above that level 10. But I always thought of 10 as like that kind of maximum point. But yeah, some go beyond that. But if you set that intention that they have an integrity of 6 and above, that they really have your highest intentions in mind, and that they are aligned with your greater purpose and goals in life. So you want to always connect with those that are aligned with that greater picture that you have for yourself, who can really help you to reach that point. So always, anytime, every single time you are connecting in any way or inviting them into your life, make sure you set that intention that they are only for your highest and best good, the deepest of love, the highest of integrity, and aligned with your greater purpose and mission in life. So make sure that you take time to work on your own energy. Anytime I am connecting with my guides, and I do this every day, and I maintain my connection with my guides for most of the time anyways. So I make sure that I am clearing my energy every day, checking to make sure there are no attachments. And I know this is a whole other video, but we'll just kind of cover it briefly here. You want to make sure there's nothing in your energy that isn't of the highest good. And if there is, then you need to check and ask, why is it there in the first place? If you don't know if there's anything there, I want you to set the intention that you are shown, or that it comes to your awareness in some way. And then, of course, go through, set the intention to balance and clear your chakras. Really try to maintain your energy, your making sure your aura is clear, making sure your chakras are clear and balanced. Of course, we need to continue to do that healing work because they're just going to kind of fall back out if you don't do the healing work. But if you have that awareness each day and you're kind of working through these things, and you'll continue to do that healing work, and you'll continue to align with the higher vibrational beings. Now, if you are working with angelic beings, or you're working with archangels, or you're calling in your guardian angels, of course they're going to be for the highest of good, but there can be those times when maybe somebody is pretending to be, and if you don't have the ability to see or feel their energy, or even just have that knowing within you with absolute certainty, that it is important to hold that intention so that nobody can try to pretend that they are, you know, an archangel or something. Excuse me. But generally, you are going to be safe in working with the archangels. If I'm working with someone who's doing a lot of really deep trauma work, then I often invite in not only, you know, my incredible, amazing guides that can help them as they work with me, but also that they can invite in the archangels to continue to help them in their healing process. That way we know that they're not connecting with these lower vibrational beings, because you really don't want to build that connection with them. It will just keep you kind of, that it's like it puts an extra weight on you, and there are some lessons that you may learn in that process that maybe you can avoid. So that is just a kind of brief overview of spirit guides and my experience, and some things that are really important to remember. Now, I know that there are many videos that could branch off from this one, including, you know, learning how to channel, but that is something that I work with my clients. I work with my clients on learning how to do, because you kind of do need that support, that confirmation of, you know, whether you are really channeling or if you're making it up, whether you're channeling really the highest of good, kind of the process in doing that, the process in clearing and balancing your energy. And while I can talk about it in videos, I really can't give the same sort of confirmation and help you through the process. So that is something that I do with my clients. Of course, I invite you to join me in my free Facebook group called Sorceress's Circle, where I do weekly videos in there as well. And I give as much support as I'm able to give in that sort of situation, where obviously I'm meeting with my clients every day and have a pretty full schedule, but I do my best to show up and support people in the energy that I'm able to show up in each week. I also do channeling in there. At this time of doing this video, I do channeling in there each week for a few people who show up while I am live. So I invite you to join me there. And of course, all links are below in the description of this video. You are also welcome to join me on other social media platforms. Make sure to follow my YouTube my YouTube channel. Sorry, I'm losing my words here. Follow my YouTube channel and make sure to like, leave a comment, all of that good stuff. And thank you guys so much for joining me today. I hope you have a wonderful day. Bye.